What is going on, guys? This is Jake at That Fit Friend, and today I'm doing an unboxing, first impressions, try on, and first workout in the Reebok Nano 12. And so now two quick housekeeping things before we dive into this video. Number one, I know this video is a little bit long overdue. I'm a little bit backed up on content at the moment. However, before this model goes live worldwide on April 8th, I promise you I will have a full Nano 12 review ready to go in video format, and I'll also have some really useful written content to accompany that video. The second thing is that I'm hosting a Reebok Nano 12 giveaway. So if you want to win a pair of Nano 12s along with some Nano 12 gear, stick around till the end of this video and I will tell you how to enter or skip ahead. But that being said, let's do the unboxing and do some first impressions of the Nano 12. So I'm doing the unboxing, standard Reebok shoe affair. So it's just some tissue on the inside and whatnot. Have the tissue on the inside of the shoes. And so I'm super excited about this model because if we look at the last 4 Reebok Nanos, the second iteration is always generally the best shoe. And so every 2 shoes, we generally get like a big construction update. But if we look at like the 7 and the 8 was the better model, the 9 and 10, the 10 was the better model. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the 12 is probably going to be the better and more superior model compared to the 11. So let's go ahead and do some first impressions of this shoe. So right out of the gate, the first thing that I'm looking at and liking already is just the overall upper appearance. This model has a really cool aesthetic. It doesn't kind of have that like baggier kind of like mesh slash knit appearance that the Nano 11 had. It looks like a much more athletic shoe. Looks like we have some flex weave knit up here on the forefoot through the midfoot. We have a heel clip back here going through the midfoot and the heel. It actually feels pretty rigid. So I actually like that because I'm curious if they implemented this to actually give a larger range of foot anatomies a little bit more midfoot support. So that's going to be interesting to test and see. But the first impression that I have is that the upper of this model I think is a hit, especially compared to the 11. Now the second thing that I'm noticing is that as a whole, like the tongue seems like it's better constructed, so we do have a loop on that tongue, and it looks like the boot has a little bit more material back here to prevent that Achilles rub. Now granted, devil's in the details and we'll test that in our workout, but it seems like the boot actually has a little bit more padding back here because more than likely, I'm sure Reebok heard a lot about the Achilles rub that the 11 had, especially the debut model. So I'm hoping that this has been reworked. The third thing that I'm noticing is that it looks like the core construction of the midsole and outsole are pretty similar. So we still have that full rubber lug patterning here, and then we have that Float Ride Energy Foam midsole. And so I reached out to Reebok 2 before actually doing this video, and the heel to toe drop in this model is still 7 millimeters. And so that being said, the midsole, outsole, and heel to toe drop in this model look very similar to the 11. And now the fourth thing that I'll talk on before we physically go test the shoe is that it looks like it's actually a little bit wider throughout the forefoot and midfoot compared to the 11. Now obviously this could just be the upper and how it looks for me right now, but I will test that and look at it compared to the 11. But this model does seem like it's a little bit wider. And I think with this additional heel clip that extends more through the midfoot on this model, that could actually be a really good thing for folks with flatter and wider feet that do need a little bit more midfoot support, especially on the medial side of the shoe. But I'm super stoked to test these. Overall, they look a lot better than the 11. They look like a very sporty version of that model. I dig the upper. I'm curious to see how it holds up in regard to like abrasion resistance, but I have a fun cross-training slash athletic focused day today. So this is like the perfect day to actually break this model in, and I will see you guys for the post-workout breakdown. All right, welcome to the post-workout breakdown. So 4 thoughts on the Nano 12 based off of my first workout. Number 1, I can pretty confidently say that this is a stronger model than the OG regular Nano 11. So the upper, I think, is way better all around. You get a little bit more midfoot support in this shoe, and I just think it feels a little bit more athletic. And now that brings us to our second point. So I think they reworked heel construction, and please note, like, I want to get more sessions in this model. I want to actually run them a little bit more, and I want to do more activities that are putting more stress into the boot so this can dig more into my heel and Achilles to test to make sure there isn't any rubbing. But thus far, like, I have not had any issues yet. And note, like, my Achilles are really torn up from breaking in Vivo barefoot boots, and this did not aggravate that area to a high degree. So I think that's a really good sign because my Achilles are already messed up, and the fact that this didn't cause any more issues is a good sign, I think, for the longevity of this boot and how it's gonna interact with most folks' Achilles. The third thing with this model is that I think it's gonna be a good shoe for that person that likes to lift, blend some CrossFit into their training, use this model for shorter runs, and do some athletic focused work. This model performed pretty strongly across the board, so I can see it being a really good general training shoe. Like, is it gonna be your best CrossFit shoe? Not necessarily, but I still wanna test them in that context. But when it comes to like being able to accommodate those activities and CrossFit style workouts, I think this model is going to excel for a lot of folks. The fourth thing is that I don't think the width is actually as wide as I thought when I first opened the box. When putting them next to my 11s, they seem pretty similar. I think the width actually comes from the upper and how it actually like lays a little bit more flat with less volume through the forefoot. So it does look a little bit wider, especially from a top down look with the Nano 12. Now, when it comes to sizing and fit, I think most folks should be safe going true to size in this model. The width is pretty standard, what I would describe as like a neutral slash maybe a little bit wider, and the length fits true. So I think you should be safe going true to size if you're gonna get this model before I roll out my full review and we go over sizing and fit in that video. And then lastly, what I will say is that despite having a slightly higher price point, I do think that could be justified in this model, especially when compared to the normal Nano 11. It is a $5 increase, but I do like that this model has so many reworked features that make it a stronger performer that I do think it can justify that $5 price increase. But now let's dive into the best part of this video, the giveaway. If you want to enter and win a pair of Reebok Nano 12s and some Nano 12 gear, all you have to do is drop a comment down below and let me know what you're looking forward to with this model or something that you like or don't like with the shoe based off the context of what you've seen thus far with the Nano 12. I'm gonna go through in the afternoon of April 1st, pick a winner, so definitely keep an eye on your YouTube if you do drop a comment because I'll hit you up there, we'll go back and forth, and I'll make sure you get your gear. But as always, I plan to have a full video review for this model in the next week or so. I do need more sessions in this shoe. Again, I'm a little bit backed up on video content. I'm a little bit ahead on written, but video-wise, I'm a little bit behind. So definitely stay tuned for that if you're on the fence of if you should invest in the Nano 12, and I'll make sure that's live before the worldwide launch on April 8th. But as always, guys, if you like this one, drop it a like. And as always, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one.